Hello, I am Ashvi. Today I will talk about water cycle. The radiation from the sun heats the water bodies, changing some water to water vapor. This is called evaporation. The water vapor rises up in the sky and cools down to form tiny droplets of water. This is called condensation. The tiny droplets come together to form a cloud. When cloud becomes big and heavy, it comes down as rainfall. This is called precipitation. The rainfall fills the water bodies and recharges the groundwater. This is called collection. This change of water from one form to the other and back to the same form is called water cycle. Water cycle is important for rainfall. Rain fills the water bodies and recharges groundwater. The water is used for drinking, farming and day-to-day activities. If water cycle is poor, we will not get enough water for these activities and will not be able to survive. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Aditi. Today I'm going to be talking about the water cycle. So let's start. The first step of the water cycle is when the sun heats the water from the water bodies and turns them into water vapor. This is known as evaporation. The second step is when the water vapor changes into tiny droplets of water and mixes with some dust and gas and forms a cloud. This is known as condensation. The third step is when clouds become too heavy, they burst, giving us rain, hail or snow. This is known as precipitation. The fourth and the final step is when it rains, the water gets collected back in the ocean, sea, rivers and lakes. This is known as collection. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Adviti. Today I will talk about water cycle. The radiation of the sun heats the water to water vapor. This is called evaporation. The water vapor rises up in the sky and cools down to form tiny droplets of water. This is called condensation. The tiny droplets come together to form a cloud. When the cloud becomes heavy and big, it comes down as rainfall. This is called precipitation. The rain fills the water bodies and recharges the groundwater. This is called collection. This change of water from to the other and back to the same form is called water cycle. Water cycle is important for rainfall. Rain fills the water bodies and reaches groundwater. This water is used drinking, farming, and day-to-day activities. If if water cycle is poor, we will not get enough water for these activities and we will not be able to survive. Thank you.
My name is Anvi. Today I am going to explain about water cycle and water cycle important. Why is water cycle important? So first what happens is, you see these water bodies, a river, lake, pond, ocean. From all these water bodies, water vapor happens. How does water vapor happens is, from the sun heat, it will come to the ocean and it changes into water vapor. After that, because of the cold layer, it will turn into tiny drop of water. And then what happens? Big drops of water will come and then turn into a heavy cloud. And then rain comes to the ground. And all the river, lake, pond, ocean will fill again with water. And let's move on to important of water cycle. So all the animals will get water to drink, and we will also get water to drink, and also for cooking. From the rain we can use water from the rain and make many purposes for many purposes. Thank you.
Good morning, Preeti ma'am. I'm going to talk about water cycle. There are three important elements in water cycle: evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. When the sun gives heat to the water bodies, they go up as vapor. That means evaporation. And when they form clouds, that's called condensation. And when it rains, that's called precipitation. And poor water cycle means no rain, and when it is poor water cycle, it will be difficult all the living beings to survive, and that's why water cycle is important. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Amit and I'm going to explain you the water cycle. So here I have a water cycle chart. So I'm going to explain you this water cycle chart. First, from the river, lake, sea, the water evaporates. It's called water vapor. Then it evaporates and then when it goes up, then it turns into small water droplets. So now, with the droplets, when they come together, they form clouds. When the clouds cannot hold more water, they fall down as rain, and it again gets collected in all the river, lake, sea. That is called a water cycle, and you can call that the evaporation, condensation, precipitation, and collection. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Darsh. I am going to show you my chart of the water cycle and I will explain it. This is my water cycle, look, and now I am going to explain it. From the water bodies, a lake, river, groundwater and ocean, the sun heats it, all of these water bodies, and it's turned to water vapor. And after that it's turned to tiny drops of water, and it's from the tiny drops of water it's turned big drops of water, and from gases it turns to a cloud. Then there is some water inside. water inside, like tiny drops and big drops of water. So it cannot hold that much. So that's why rain comes and we called it cloud burst. And then cloud burst, it's done heavy rain and the snow comes. Thank you.
Good morning. Water cycle means repeated movement of water between earth and atmosphere. Sun heats the water from the water bodies. Water changes into water vapor and goes up. Water droplets forms into clouds, and clouds, when they are heavy and big, they burst as rainfall. It enters the water bodies and it repeats. Poor water cycle means no water or less water. If there is no water or less water, crops can't grow and living beings cannot survive. Thank you.
Sun heats the ground. The sun heats the ground. This process is called radiation. The water turns into water vapor and goes up. This process is called evaporation. The water vapor forms a cloud and it cools down. This process is called condensation. The cloud becomes heavy. The cloud becomes heavy, and the cloud bursts and the rain falls into rivers, ocean, seas, and lakes.
The change of water from one to another form is called water cycle. Sun heats up the water and the water vapor goes in the sky to form clouds. When the tiny little droplets go in the cloud, it falls as rainfall. Poor water cycle means it will have less rainfall and plus fishes, animals and plants and us we won't get so much water. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Samhita Academy. Today I am going to talk about the water cycle and the importance of water cycle. First, the sun heats the water in the water bodies. Then that water will change into water vapor. Then the water vapor will come in the sky and after some time it will cool down and it will be tiny drops of water and some dust particles will be there, and together it will form a cloud. Then the cloud will be big and heavy and then blast, and then all the lost water bodies will come back. Importance of water cycle. We need water cycle because for drinking and for our day-to-day activities. If we don't have water, we cannot drink, we cannot bath, the animals can't drink water and the plants can't grow. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Shanaya. Today I am going to talk about water cycle, importance of water cycle and poor water cycle. I also drawn a chart for a water cycle. So let's start with water cycle. Water from lakes, rivers, ponds and other water bodies become water vapor due to sunlight. They go high up in the sky and then they cool down there. They get close to each other and form clouds. When the clouds become big and heavy, the water comes down as rain. The rainfall again fills the lakes, ponds, rivers and other water bodies. This change of water from one form to another form and then back to the same form again is called water cycle. Now let's start importance of water cycle. Water cycle is important for rainfall. The rain fills ponds, lakes, rivers and other water bodies. Water in rivers, lakes, etc. is used for drinking, growing crops and other day-to-day activities. Poor water cycle. Poor water cycle will affect the rainfall. We will see less rainfall, which will change the water level in the water bodies and wells. The level is less in the water bodies, so there will be less water to use. Example for bathing, washing hands, drinking and watering crops. Thank you.
When the sun heats up the river, lakes and ponds, the water becomes water vapor. This process is called evaporation. When the water vapor comes into the sky, it cools down and becomes tiny droplets. These tiny droplets become clouds. This is called condensation. When the clouds become heavy and big and they cannot hold any much water, it happens rainfall. Rainfall happens. This is called precipitation. Again, the river, lakes and ponds are filled with water and this cycle continues and continues. If water cycle does not happen, we cannot live because water is needed for drinking, cooking, growing crops and etc. Thank you.
I'm going to talk about water cycle. First, the sun heats the water and the water vapor forms and these tiny drops of water and it forms clouds. After that it becomes dark heavy clouds and rain comes. Some rain goes to the river and some rain be snows. Poor water cycle. If we have poor water cycle, animals will die and we will not have enough water to drink and for our day needs.